Hey everyone, I'm Olivia from Cineworld, and I'm here to tell you exactly why you need to experience IMAX. Bigger, louder, better, and a whole heap more cinema-y than you ever thought cinema could be. You might have heard of IMAX, but if you haven't tried it yet, you're in the right place. Let's dive in and take a look at all the reasons to try out IMAX, with a little help from some of the biggest names in filmmaking and film fandom. This is big, it's huge. We're talking about the IMAX screen, but just how big is it? Well, our IMAX screen at Cineworld Leicester Square is truly epic proportions. It's 87.5 feet wide and the height of more than 3 double-decker buses stacked on top of each other, or 8.5 times the height of our favourite film critic, Mark Kermode. Let's take a look at Jack Howard and Mark Kermode as they dive into the magnificence of IMAX proportions.
As we all know, IMAX screens are absolutely huge. I actually measured it, I worked it out. The screen here is 8.5 Kermodes high. I looked it up.
I mean, I think the thing about the IMAX experience for something like Gladiator, if you want to immerse me in the Colosseum, make it really big, make it really fully immersive. And of course, this is the thing that Ridley Scott does, and I'll keep coming back to this. He builds worlds that he wants you to walk into. He has the ability to do it on a screen the size of a house.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the modern Colosseum.
We are.
That's what this is.
Are you not entertained?
Very good.
And while the screen is huge, the image you see on it is still crystal clear. That's thanks to a custom remastering process called DMR that every IMAX title goes through. It ensures that even on a giant screen, the image remains sharp. And IMAX is not just a feast for your eyes, it's a feast for your ears too. IMAX uses high-powered speakers placed around the auditorium, so no matter where you are in the cinema, you're guaranteed the best sound. We're talking surround sound. IMAX's high dynamic range means that everything is crystal clear, whether it's a high-tension hush moment in a horror like A Quiet Place, or a huge explosion in an epic like Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. The sound is immersive. Here's what Jack and Mark had to say about Denis Villeneuve's clever use of sound in Dune 2, which was filmed specifically for IMAX.
The sound in here, the seat was literally rumbling when the sandworms were coming out, when the battles were happening. But still, Denis Villeneuve gives room for the quieter, smaller, more intimate character moments. And it kind of speaks to what Denis Villeneuve is absolutely brilliant at, which is taking these huge, big, weird, sometimes wacky ideas.
Yep.
And I think he takes all of that stuff and makes it palatable.
What exactly does it mean when filmmakers say bigger and better in IMAX? Well, another reason for checking out this revolutionary technology is that you get up to 26% more picture when it's filmed for IMAX. We're not talking director's cut here, we are talking physically 26% more. Okay, let's get a little bit nerdy. Most cinemas show films in an aspect ratio of 2.39 to 1. That's wide and short. Film for IMAX movies, on the other hand, are shown in 1.90 to 1 or 1.43 to 1. Wider and higher. You get the picture, pun intended. More film for your money, more landscape, more sky, and more mountains. Christopher Nolan was the first director to use IMAX cameras in a fiction film with Dark Knight. His most recent movie, Oppenheimer, was also shot with IMAX cameras. Here he is telling us all about his love for this high-performance format.
Because I first encountered IMAX in museums in the United States when I was a kid.
Amazing.
Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago had an Omnimax theater, that's the domed version. And for many years it was my ambition to use that format that had only been used for documentaries, but to bring it into Hollywood filmmaking. And the first time that was ever done was when we made The Dark Knight. We started shooting with IMAX film cameras and projecting on IMAX film, and then later with IMAX laser technology and so forth. And I've never looked back. I mean, everything we've done since then, we've done in partnership with IMAX and with the theaters around the world that are capable of showing that. On Oppenheimer, we shot IMAX film knowing that would give us the incredible vistas of New Mexico, the weather coming in, the build up to the Trinity test, this moment that changes the world. But for the first time, we really tried to apply IMAX technology to the intimate moments, to how can this technology just take us to a time and a place and have the screen disappear. Because the wonderful thing about these huge screens is the proscenium, the frame kind of disappears and you're just there. I liken it to sort of 3D without the glasses. And I think it's a very powerful tool for storytelling.
And if you want to be immersed in film even more, did you know you can also watch IMAX in 3D? Whoa. But listen, don't just take our word for why IMAX is worth every penny. Here are a few of our famous friends explaining why they love it as much as we do.
I think you're gonna experience the fights like you never could before. I think you'll be immersed in sound and visual content and make you feel like you're right there in the ring. You'll feel like the referee. You'll be right there, in between these two fighters, and just everything from the feet on the canvas and what that sounds like to the impact of the punches to the lack thereof sound. I think this is truly incredible. So IMAX gave me the ability to shoot these fights, that we could never do before, and I think it's definitely worth it.
I'm excited for people to see it in IMAX. It's really like just the absolute greatest way you can see a movie. This movie is especially important to us because we shot the entire movie in IMAX, and you can't see it like that in any other theater in the world. So you're gonna see stuff in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in IMAX that you just can't see anywhere else. So you'll probably never see it, and it probably will never be on TV like that. It's only in IMAX, and so I think that that makes this something really special. That makes this movie really special.
Great sound with great picture and a big screen is just is half of the job, and that's a huge experience thing, I think, for this movie. I think it was made for the big screen.
So from unforgettable battles to high tension to sci-fi epics, it's clear that bigger is not just better, but also brighter with IMAX, and the sound is completely epic too. When it comes to having the ultimate immersive cinema experience, IMAX is a must-try. Trust us, it's why some of Hollywood's top filmmakers love it so much. Want to try it out for yourself? Click the link to find your closest Cineworld IMAX screen and discover what's showing right now. Make sure you subscribe and check out our other videos to find out what films are out now at Cineworld. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any other questions about IMAX, pop them below.